favorite horror franchise? I mean, maybe 999, like Zero Escape. Maybe. I guess Soma is just a one-off, so it doesn't count. So maybe Zero Escape. It's not horror, it's... Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's horror adjacent. Danganronpa is horror, so I feel like Zero Escape is also horror. I'd be scared if I was there. See, me too. Me too. Therefore, it is horror. Danganronpa is not horror? No, there's a difference between being scary and being horror. Something can be horror and not be scary. I think Danganronpa is horror, even though it's not really scary. That's not... No, it is. It is. Horror doesn't have to be scary. I think. I don't think it has to be scary. Yeah, it's like the aesthetic. It's about what's happening. Like, if a bunch of people are locked in a school and they're being murdered in various ways, I think that is horror. Wikipedia doesn't include horror in its list of genres for it. I think it's horror. Thriller maybe, but not horror? I feel like horror is more about like the themes involved. What about psychological horror? Well, because everybody thinks things are scary in different ways. Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie, but it's not really scary, except for that one part at the end maybe. But it is horror. It is scary though. I don't know. Okay, what about like Gone Girl? I think Gone Girl is horror, but it's not scary. It's definitely scarier than 999. I don't think it has to be horror to be scary. Or it has to be scary to be horror. Danganronpa's labeled horror on Steam. I think it is. It's literally like slasher. Like a slasher flick. That's horror, right? Psychological horror, you know? All the Danganronpa games you've seen are definitely horror. I think they are. I think so. What's the point of thriller, though? To be gory but not scary? Is Higurashi horror from what I've played? I mean, from what I've played, no. But I know it will be. Saya no Uta is definitely horror, but it's not really scary. It's like more disturbing than anything. Right? The concept is horrifying. The meat vision. Disturbing type of horror. I mean, Danganronpa can definitely be disturbing and disgusting. I mean, I would even say that, like, the game we just played, Sucker for Love, I think that's horror. It's horror themed. It's not scary, but it definitely has horror themes. Because it's like Lovecraftian. That's horror. I mean, it does have, I guess it has jump scares, but it's not, I don't know. It is scary. It's not really scary, though. It's startling. Lovecraft doesn't make it horror. I feel like it does, though. It's at least gothic. What about the difference between gothic and horror? Never thought horror was so hard to define. It is literally cosmic horror. I think Lovecraft stuff is horror, even if it's not scary. It's about the themes. The themes involved. Let's make a new genre called spooky. No. I don't think horror has to be scary to be horror. Like, what about, like, The King in Yellow? I mean, is it scary? I mean, how do you define if something is scary or not, you know? It's too subjective. I think The King in Yellow is horror, but it's not really scary. Existentially scary. Well, then so is Danganronpa. Maybe not existentially so. Well, kind of dystopianly scary. I mean, 999 is definitely psychologically scary. Danganronpa's too goofy to be scary, but I don't think it's too goofy to be horror. I think horror can be goofy. You can have like a goofy slasher movie that's not really scary, and that's horror. Anyway.
Hello, no. No, hello. Yeah, hello.